Today I am here to remove all the mystery around editing videos for YouTube. I use this software called Filmora. It's by Wondershare, and it's great because not only is it affordable, but it's so easy to use, and that makes it so great for beginners. My kids use it all the time to edit their videos, and if they can do it, you can do it too. So let's jump into the tutorial. Here's what we'll be covering today.
First, we'll go over pricing and how to set up Filmora so you can start using it today. Then we'll do a walkthrough Filmora, meaning I'll show you around Filmora so you can familiarize yourself with all the edits and cool effects that you can do. Next, we'll put all those functions to use by editing an actual video together. I haven't used intros in my videos lately, but I do know how to create one, and I will show you 3 different and simple ways. Then we'll talk all about music, how to add it to your videos and where to find it. I have a few options for that too. Next up is B-roll. You know, when you add a clip on top of another clip to show more context, I'll show you how to do that, how to edit it and add it to your video. Then we'll talk all about animated subscribe buttons, animated graphics for social media handles, and green screens. And the final thing will be to export your video. How do you actually send it to YouTube or your phone or your computer? If you're excited for this tutorial, make sure to give me a thumbs up down below. If you want to reference a certain part of this video, always check the description. Save this video if you want to reference it for later, and let's get started. To download Filmora, visit filmora.wondershare.com or click the link in the description. Once you're on this page, go to Products and select Filmora 9. And here we have a free download. This will have a watermark on it, so if you want to get rid of the watermark, then you have to buy the actual thing, but this is great to get started. And here are the pricings for the full feature Filmora. For 1 year, you can pay $40 and you get all the features, all the updates, no watermark, and free tech support. Or you can pay $60 one-time fee and have it forever. And the other option is to pay $100 every year, and with this option you get free downloads from Filmstock, which is basically where they have all their extra effects, and you get new effects every month. To clarify, you can still download effects and other packages from their Filmstock website to add to your videos if you purchase the $39.99 a year package or the $59.99 lifetime package. The only difference is you're going to have to pay for each package you download individually, as opposed to if you purchase the $99.87 a year package, you have unlimited access to their Filmstock website for free, and you get free effects every month as well. So I'd say start with this $59.99 one-time fee, or if you really do care to have access to Filmstock where you can download all sorts of effects and packages to make your videos better, then go ahead and do the $99.87 annually. In any case, once you choose the package you want, click Buy Now, and it will walk you through the steps on how to set it up on your computer. Once you've installed Filmora, go ahead and open it up, and you'll be presented with this pop-up here. On this left-hand corner, this eye symbol, you'll go here if you need any help, any questions answered. Then we have recent projects right underneath that, and this is just projects you've been working on before. So if you want to get back to working on a project that you've worked on previously, just select it from here. Then if you're ready to start a new project, the first thing you have to do is choose the size of your project. For YouTube videos, it's always going to be 16:9, so go ahead and select that. After that, you select whether you want easy mode or full feature mode. Easy mode is just a very easy way to edit. They walk you through step by step along the way, but it is very limited. You can hardly add text or effects or anything like that, but it's a great option for small videos for like Instagram or Facebook, things like that. But today, we're going to be diving deep into the full feature mode. This is where the good stuff happens. This is where your only limit is your imagination. As promised, first I'm going to walk you through all of these features and effects that you can add to your video. So let's get started right up here. Here where it says dark skin, it's just to change your background. You can change it from light to dark. I am going to keep it light for now. Messages is where Filmora will alert you of discounts for packages and effects. If you click on more effects, it's going to take you over to the Filmstock website where you can download more more packages, more fonts, more cool things to add to your video, but there are some free stuff here for you to download as well. Save is obvious. It's just to save the project you're currently working on, and I recommend you do this at least every 30 minutes because you never know. Next up is register. When you download Filmora, you are going to have to register it, so that's where you do that. Help is just general stuff where you ask questions. You can also request new features, and here's where you will check for updates on Filmora. Export you will use when you're finally done editing your video and you're ready to send it to your preferred destination. Then we have edit, which is undo, redo, cut, copy, paste, edit, split, and delete. These functions are also available down here, so we're going to talk about them in depth later. But what I do want you to pay close attention to, over to the right, these little shortcuts here. Try your best to remember them because they come in handy so much when you're editing your video just to make things faster. Over here on file, we have a option to open a new project. So if you're done working with what you're working on now, go ahead and open a new project. You can open a recent project, and this area here is to import media. So here's where you will go if you want to add media from an outside source, maybe a YouTube video, a image, or a recording from your phone, your social media, or your computer. This is where you will go. You can also record your voice here on Filmora, or you can screen record here on Filmora as well. Now let's skip over to this blue section here because this is where the fun starts to happen. Here's where you can start adding your text, your transitions, and filters, and other different kinds of elements. So let's start here with this media folder. This is where, as I talked about earlier, when you import things from outside sources like pictures and videos, this is where you will find it. It's divided into 3 separate folders. My album is at 0 right now, but when you start adding files into Filmora, this is where they will go. And then there's sample colors and sample videos. Sample colors are great to add text on top of. And once you click on a folder, as you see here, you get your options in this middle section here. And you can just click on any file that you're choosing, and then it'll pop up in this preview screen to the right. And here you can preview what it's going to look like before you add it to your actual video. But let's take a step back and talk about these folders. These 3 are here by default when you open Filmora. Filmora just gives you these 3 automatically, but you can always add your own by clicking this folder with the plus button on this bottom left corner. Just click add, name your folder, and click enter. And you can add as many as you want so that you can organize your media as you start to grow your media library so that it's easier to find things. And if you ever want to delete a folder, all you have to do is right click and delete. And here you can also rename as well. Next up is music. Filmora offers a few different tracks for you to choose from that you can use for free. They also have sound effects here. And if you want to preview anything, just click on the file and then press play so that you can preview it here over on the screen. Anything that has an arrow on the top right hand corner isn't downloaded yet. So to preview it or to add it to your video, you have to download it. And to do that, all you have to do is double click and it will start downloading for you. Next up is text. Filmora also offers lots of free text to choose from. They have badges, things for special occasions, openers. But if you want to add even more things, if you want the cool stuff, you'll have to buy packages from the store like we talked about earlier. But you can also customize some of these texts and customize text to make them your own by adding images and different effects, and we're going to talk more about that later. And then there's transitions, and these are just used to make your video flow smoothly from one clip to another. And there's all sorts of different transitions for you to choose from. Just click on any and you can preview it on this preview screen over here. Filters and overlays are pretty self-explanatory. It's what you see on Facebook and Instagram that you use to edit your videos. Overlays are kind of like filters too, except there's a little bit more fancy stuff like lights and viewfinders, TV static, so many things to choose from. Elements are like text, but they're animated. Some are still, but a lot of them are animated, and they have shapes, they have things for tutorials, they have badges, all sorts of cool stuff. Split screen is when you want to add 2 clips on the screen at the same time. Export, we already talked about. This is where you will come when you're done editing your video and you're ready to send it to your preferred destination. All right, we're almost done with this walkthrough. The last thing I want to talk about is this vast open area right here, and this is called your timeline. This is where you will be piecing together and editing your video. And as you can see here on the left, it's divided into different sections. This first section at the top here is for what they call your A roll or your primary footage. Towards the bottom, where it has 2 film looking icons, that's where your B roll will go, or your secondary footage. Then the T is for text, and then the bottom 2 rows are for music. And as you add more things like filters and overlays and all those things to your videos, it will add more sections to divide them for you as well. Now let's put all these things to work and start editing an actual video. I'm going to be showing you how I edited this video I uploaded last time. I won't do the whole thing because it would just take too long, but I'm going to show you the first bit of it. First, I have to import my video clips. So File, Import Media Files, and these are the 2 clips that I want for now. Click Open. Now these clips have this red outline towards the bottom. That means they are both selected. If I go ahead and hit this plus button, it will add it to my timeline, but it's going to add both of these videos. If you want to add all the videos to your timeline or all the video clips to your timeline at the same time, then cool, go ahead and click this plus button. But if that's not what you want, click any open space around here and it will deselect them for you. Now they're blue, they're not selected, and you can start adding a single clip. This little clip here is my introduction, and in fact I can rename it here, where I give my little introduction about what the video will be about and explain what I am going to be doing in that video. And as you can see, it took me a while to actually start the darn video. I had to make sure the camera was recording, the angle was right, fix my hair, my clothes, and even at one point I started the video and then I stumbled a bit, so I had to start all over again. I can tell when these things happen by actually watching the video, of course, but another way is this gray shading below the clip. This is kind of like a sound wave. So it's low when I'm not talking, then it's high when I start talking, and then I stumbled, so then it starts to get quiet as I restart my video again. I want to get rid of all these mistakes, and to do that, I will use this handy dandy little slider here. I'm going to place it right where I actually start my video, which is about here. Once you have the slider right where you want it, select the clip. It's red, so that means it's selected. And use the scissors to split the video, or the shortcut Control B. Now this good part is selected, the part that I want to keep. I want to select the mistake part and then use the trash can to delete it, or hit delete on your keyboard. Now from far away the clip looks good, it looks decent, but to really get a close look at it, go ahead and zoom in by using this slider on the right hand corner here. If you expand this, you can really see what's going on in your video to do some more fine-tuning. So I can see that here in the front of the video, there's still a lot of silence that I want to get rid of. So I'm going to slide this line over. That looks like a good spot. I want to capture myself sitting down on the couch. That was the whole purpose. I'll go ahead and slide this down so that I can go towards the end of the video to see what's going on there as well. And as you can see, there's lots of silence at the end of the video too that I want to get rid of. So I'll slide this slider over until the gray shading ends, and I want to end this clip precisely when my lips close. So I'm using the arrows on my keyboard to move a little bit at a time, and that's a good trick to keep in mind. Use your mouse to slide the slider a lot down the timeline, or use your keyboard arrows to move milliseconds at a time. That will be useful in the future. Now select the clip, split it with the scissors or Control B, and delete the part you don't want. If you want to do even more editing to this clip, you can find more options by double clicking the clip. Here are 2 tabs. There's the video and the audio tab. For video, you can edit things such as rotating the video, you can flip the video, you can also increase the contrast, saturation, brightness, tint, and here also you can speed up the video or slow down the video. I like to use this for B-roll. And you can also play the video in reverse. Here in audio, you can increase the volume, the fade in, the fade out, the pitch. You can remove background noise. And you can also just customize the way you want your video to sound. The last thing I want to do to this video clip is crop and zoom in on some portions. So to do that, I need to go to the beginning of my video, and of course, you can do that with this slider here, but you can also use this preview screen to go all the way back. And I want to zoom in on the first portion of my video. I'll go ahead and stop about there. So just use the scissors to split it. Let me go ahead and contract this a little bit so you see exactly what I'm doing. This is the portion that I want to crop and zoom in. So now that it's selected, we're going to choose this icon here, the crop and zoom icon. And I'm going to go ahead and let the video play a little bit just so I know exactly what's going on. And now that I have the view of the frame, I can go ahead and crop it. And I want to zoom in on my face a little bit and kind of center it. Just click OK and you're all done. And there we go. This part of the video will be zoomed in. Okay, now that I'm sort of satisfied with this clip here, we're going to talk about how to add an introduction to your video. I'm going to show you 3 simple ways. Some people add their intro at the very front of their video, but I like to give a little spill on what the video will be about and then add an intro. So I'm going to go ahead and add it here after this first clip where I'm introducing what the content will be about. The first way to create an intro is to actually create your own here on Filmora. I'm going to show you how to do that first. That way I can show you a little more editing tricks along the way. And to get started, what you must do is add some text. So click this text icon here and look through all the text that they have here and pick one you like, or one that you sort of like, because we're going to be doing lots of edits to it anyway, so it's going to end up looking different. I'm going with this simple text right here called Modern 3, and you can either click the add button or you can click, hold, and drag it over to your timeline. Now double click this text box here, and it's going to bring up some things for you to edit here. But what I really want to show you is what's behind this advanced button. Now this is where the good stuff happens because you can do so many more edits. Let's go over what all of these things mean and what they do. We're going to start with this T here, and this is to add a text box. We already have a text box here. We don't need one, but you can always add multiple text box to write what you need. So I'll go ahead and delete these. Next up are shapes. So if you ever want to use arrows or a speech bubble, this is where you would find it. But up next, we have this image icon, and this is to add backgrounds or more images to your video here. So we're going to click this image button and choose a background for this text. And I'm going to choose journals. Now these are backgrounds that I've downloaded before from different sites, but you can just Google free non-copyright images or free non-copyright backgrounds, and you can find many that you can use for yours. I'm going to use this open white journal here. Now that it's on Filmora, I can go ahead and adjust it. Just go to the corner here. Once you see this 2-headed arrow, you can start stretching it. If you move toward middle, you'll see this 4-headed arrow, and you can move it around as well. Alright, so now it's fitted to my screen, and to bring the text back up on top of this background, you'll go to this far right corner and click Move to Back to move this image to the back, and go ahead and keep clicking that until everything is forward. Okay, now one thing is that the white letters, you can't see them much, so to fix that problem, I need to darken up the background. Most of the time when you have light text, you need a dark background. When you have dark text, you need a light background. So to darken up the background, I can use one of these shapes. I'll use the square, and I'll just make it big to fit. Then I'll go over here to the color and click black and go ahead and lighten the opacity a bit so it won't be pitch black. And then I will move it to the back, or move it back one, because I don't want it to go to the very back and go behind the background. So click move back one until you have your text in front. Now you can see this much better. Moving along, this trash, you know, it's for delete. And this text area, you can change your font. There are so many to choose from here. I went with Lucinda handwriting, and I went ahead and changed the text to my name, Sandra, the mom boss. And now I'm going to just stretch out this box in the background so that it can fit my name. And this text that says slideshow, I guess I don't really want it there, so I'll go ahead and just trash that. And I'm going to center it by clicking this button here, and you can also make it bold and italicized if you want. These options here, this vertical line is to put more space between the lines, so between Sandra and the mom boss. The more you increase it, the further apart they become. This horizontal line here is to increase the spacing between the letters. To further customize your text, you have these three tabs here: presets, customize, and animation. Let's go over presets. These are just pre-made text styles that Filmora offers. If you click on any of them, it will change up your text a bit. So this adds a shadow underneath. Let's see, text style 10 will kind of fill in the color for you and do like a little outline. So just look around here to find something you like. Customize is where you will create your own text style if you don't like these pre-made ones that Filmora offers, or you can choose a pre-made one and then customize it a little more. And here you have a couple more options as well. You can change the fill color. I changed it to white. You can also change how you want the color to look. So it can go from gradient. Let me choose a different color so you can see the gradient effect. It's kind of like ombre. You can also choose to fill in your text with an image. This opacity is just to make the color lighter or brighter, and blur just kind of makes it blurry. Next up is border, and same thing, you can change the border of your text, the opacity, the blur, or you can even increase the size of your border. So if I move it up a bit, it's going to make it thicker, which that actually looks nice. I'll go ahead and keep it, but let's go ahead and change the color. I don't see the color I really like, so I'm going to go ahead and click more colors. I'll click red to use as my starting base and click define custom colors and move around the slider on the left and also move around this arrow here to look for something you like. I'll go ahead and stick with that. Add to custom colors, select it, and click OK. This bottom portion here, shadows, basically same thing. You choose the type of shadow you want. Do you want it in the front, in the back? Just choose the position and then choose the color. How opaque do you want it? Do you want it really dark or really light? If you want to add some blur, you can also choose the distance of your shadow, whether you want it really close to your text or really far away. So these are all awesome to make your text even more customized. Next up, we have animations, and this is just to make your text move in different ways. But because I know that this red border also moves, I'm going to use something that works with that. So let's go ahead and just go with type today. Just double click to apply it to your text. Now let's talk about this text timeline. This works exactly like your video timeline. It's separated into different sections, and you can actually adjust these elements here so they can start and end at different spots in your video. For like this text one, for example, I can slide it over so that I can start sooner instead of later on in the clip. And the white lines inside are for the animation. So the animation will start right about here and it will end right about here. If I don't want it to end, then all I have to do is scoot this white line all the way over and it will start, but it won't end. Now that's it. Your intro is complete. To preview it, rewind all the way to the beginning and press play. If you like it, go ahead and click OK to exit out of the screen, or click Save as a preset. And this will allow you to save your intro, and that way you can use it again and again when you come back and make more videos. Just input the name you want. I'll just put intro 1 and click OK. OK again to exit the screen, and now there is your intro. This is just a very simple intro. You can definitely do more cool things if you take your time with it, or just use one of the next two options that I have for you. The second option I have for you is to go to Fiverr.com. Create an account, and once you have an account, you can search for YouTube intros, and you can find someone to create an intro for you. The intros are anywhere from $5 to $10 to $15 depending on what you want. So look through people's profiles, find the one you like, and buy an intro. The last option I have for you is to download an intro from YouTube for free. Search YouTube intro templates, and here you will find templates that are empty, so you can just add your own text. Just go ahead and find one you like, copy the link, go to ytmp3.cc, paste the link there, select MP4 option to convert the download, and then sometimes a new tab will open. This is just an ad or something like that. Just ignore it, exit out of that, and you can exit out of this website too because your intro is already downloaded down here. I'm going to select this intro we've made previously and go ahead and delete it so that we can import our intro that we downloaded from YouTube. Go ahead and add that to your timeline. I'm going to make this smaller just so I can see the whole clip. So just slide across the video clip until you find the intro you like. This is the first intro. Now it's showing you an example of what it will look like, and then it gives you a blank template for you to add your own text on top of. So this is the second one. This is what it will look like, and then it gives you a blank template for you to just, add your own name. So that's the one I'm going with right now. So I'm going to go ahead and stop here, and I will use the arrows on my keyboard to cut this clip right when the blank template starts. So that's where the blank template starts. Go ahead and click Control B to cut this clip, and I'm going to delete this beginning portion of it. Now I need to find the end of this template. So I'll go ahead and use this slider here to go towards the end of the template, and I will stop it right there. Split this clip and get rid of the rest. And here is our intro. Now all we have to do is add our custom text. I'm going to go ahead and pick the same one I picked earlier. Now we need it to be as long as our intro is, so just go ahead and hover over this text box here in your timeline. Once you have this vertical line with the two arrows, stretch it until it reaches the end, just like your intro. Double click on the text in the timeline, get to the advanced edits, and then just customize away. Make the text look just like you want it. Okay, I went ahead and changed the font, the text, added a little bit of border, and this is what it looks like. Okay, now the final thing your intro will need is some music. So let's talk about how to add music and where to find it. Your first option, of course, is here in Filmora. You can use any of these tracks and sound effects for free. When you find one you like, just go ahead and drag it to your timeline. And here, just like the other clips I've shown, you can cut it however you'd like. To edit your music, double click and you can change the speed, the volume, when it fades in and out, the pitch, and other things like that. If you're looking for more tracks that are more unique and not as overused as Filmora's are, check out Epidemic Sound. Here you can download as many tracks as you want. They're not copyrighted. You can try them for free for 30 days, and after that it will be $15 a month for unlimited downloads. The last option for music is again YouTube. Go to youtube.com/audio library, and they have lots of tracks you can use. They are free and non-copyrighted. Another thing you can do with YouTube is use the search bar. Just describe the type of music you want. Make sure you also put non-copyright, and then you just download the video using the ytmp3.cc link again. Now with this, just make sure you read their description. Sometimes these artists want a shout out in your description of your video, but sometimes they do ask for payment. All right, and this is what we have so far. In the beginning, we have the clip of me explaining what the video is going to be about. Then we have that introduction we created. Now I think the only thing that's missing here is a transition, just to have a smooth flow between the clip and the intro we created. Click on the transition you want and drag it and drop it where you want it. And now this is what it will look like. Now let's talk about B-roll. B-roll is so cool because you can add clips on top of clips to explain visually what you're talking about, and it also serves to keep the viewer's interest. So this right here, A-roll audio 1, is the next clip of my how to get your life back together video. That video is 5 steps to get your life back together. So this here talks about the first step. This is just audio. I didn't bother recording my face because I knew that I wanted to add B-roll on top of it. So I'm just going to quickly speed edit out any mistakes that I made in this audio and also add some text and titles along the way. So I'm going to speed that through so we can move on to B-roll. Okay, now my clip is all ready to go. This first portion here is the step number 1. Then we have my audio where the B-roll will go. And then at the end here, I'm going to add some more text to this ending. But first, I want to add the B-roll. First, I have to import my B-roll footage. Now, to add B-roll to your timeline, you cannot just click this plus button here because it's going to add it to the top, to the primary section here. You have to click, hold, and drag it down to where the B-roll goes. Here, when we add B-roll, we run into some potential problems because you cannot edit B-roll the same way you can A-roll. When you double click on your primary footage, you can edit the volume, you can speed up the video, slow down the video, but you cannot do the same with your B-roll footage. All you can do is customize the motion of it, how it comes into the screen, and the audio, but that is it. If you're just adding a simple image as your B-roll, then you're good to go, or if you don't care to edit your B-roll, then you're good to go. But for this footage here where I show the life-changing magic of tidying up, I did want to slow down the footage. I did want to edit it even more. And the way around that dilemma is to edit your B-roll separately. Export that to your computer and then you can add it to your A-roll as you're editing your video. I hope that made sense, but that's the only way around it that I know of. Okay, so here I added my edited B-roll clip to the bottom of my audio clip. I'm going to move the slider down to where I want the B-roll to end, and then I will use the scissors to split it. If I was editing an actual video, I would scoot this B-roll over until I needed the rest or the next bit of B-roll. I would just scoot it over out of my way, continue to edit my A-roll, and the next time I need the next piece of B-roll, then I could just get it from here. But I'm not editing an actual video, so I'll just go ahead and delete that. And here I'm just adding the bit of text that I want to go at the end of this audio. And now this is what the final clip looks like.
The first step to getting your life back together is to get your space in order. There's a reason why Marie, however you say her name, Kondo in her book, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, are a big movement right now.
And now at the end we have the little clip with some text.
In other words, mess means stress.
Next up here we have social media handle, graphics, subscribe buttons, and green screens. A green screen is this right here. You record in front of a green screen when you want a separate background from the object or the person. To get a hold of these green screens to add subscribe buttons, graphics, and all sorts of things to your videos, can you guess where you will need to go? YouTube, of course. So head on to YouTube, just search green screens social media templates or subscribe templates or anything that you're looking for. Look around, find what you like, copy the link, paste it into ytmp3.cc, select MP4 for this one, and then download it. Now all you will have to do is import it to Filmora. Look through this green screen, which is actually blue. Green screens don't really need to be green. Find what you want in this video clip here. And let's double click while we're at it here and just turn down the volume on this clip because we don't want the music. We just want the social media handle graphic thing. So go ahead and cut that out. And now we can move this over so that it can pop up in the middle of our B-roll here. Now select this green screen and click this icon here. Check mark this where it says make parts of this clip transparent. And then click this blue color here. That way you can make everything that's blue transparent. And now just click OK. If you let this play out, you'll see that the blue part of this clip is gone and we're just left with this icon here. If you want to move this around or edit it a bit, just go ahead and stop the video. Click the clip here and you can adjust it. Now all we need to do is add the actual text on top. So do the same thing we've been doing. Go ahead and click any text. Adjust it so that it's the same size as the green screen or the same length. Go ahead and double click. Here you can add your own text. You can change the font, add an animation, or whatever else you want. Right about there is when I want the text to start showing. I don't really want it to show in the beginning portion of this little clip, so I'm going to go ahead and slide this all the way over so the text can start showing here. And then this white line is for the animation. I'm going to choose no animation just to keep things simple right now. But another thing we have to do is change the color of this text because if not, it'll be white and it won't show up. Go ahead and adjust the text so that it will fit inside here. And that looks about right. Now, this is what it will look like. And you can do the same thing with subscribe buttons and all sorts of other green screens you can find on YouTube. And now we're all done doing all the editing we're going to do. The final thing to do is to export your video. To do that, click export here. And on the left, you have many options. You can export it right to your desktop or computer. You can do it to your phone. You can upload it straight to YouTube or Facebook or Vimeo, or you can even send it to a DVD. Today we're sending it to the computer. Always choose MP4. YouTube does accept many of these file formats, but I think MP4 is your best bet. Go ahead and name your file and then just choose the folder you want your video to go to on your computer. I'll do Mom Boss Videos and click OK. Click export, and now here you can choose whether you want a sound reminder when the video is done exporting, whether you want the computer to shut down or just do nothing.
Even though I haven't edited this video, I imagine it's going to be pretty long. I tried to cover everything I wish I knew when I just got started editing videos with Filmora, so I hope you appreciate my efforts. If you do, make sure you leave a like down below, that you share it with someone, and that you leave me some love in the comments. And if you have any other questions that I didn't cover in this tutorial, leave that in the comments as well. I'd be glad to help you out. And for more YouTube video tutorials, make sure to check out this playlist here. To check out my most recent video, check out this video right here. And of course, don't forget to subscribe because I have more awesome videos coming your way. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.